Welcome back to Squelch, the video game book club. I'm Dano.
I'm Matt at Arms.
And I'm Storm Rage, and we're here to remind you that Mass Effect Andromeda is a game, and games are supposed to be fun.
This week, we finally complete Hunting the Archon. We go to the very, very cleverly named H-047 lowercase c. And we have way too much fun driving around in the Mako 2 in low gravity. Next week, we are doing it. We are finishing up with Xmas Effect. We are going to go to Meridian and then finish the game. We're definitely only going to Meridian once. Don't worry about that. Unfortunately, Fallout New Vegas has a serious Dragon Age Origins problem in that it just doesn't really run all that well on modern machines, has a tendency to break down. There are patches and stuff to make that work, but it is a lot of like stuff that needs to get done in order to kind of get all of the modernizing that needs to happen in order to make it a kind of a fun experience. So we are going to skip Fallout, unfortunately. I'm a little bummed. I really wanted to dive back into New Vegas, but it's just going to be way too much work. So we are going to head back to Dragon Age Inquisition, finish the DLC. That should take us about 3 weeks, one DLC each week. And then we are going to take a break from open world games for, I think, like a month or so. I'm not entirely sure. And play Dispatch. So for the next couple months, here's kind of the plan.
We can get through Dispatch in either 2 or 3 weeks.
I think 3 weeks is good.
That is very short. Cool. So
it's a pretty short game.
Weeks. To play Dispatch, which I guess is like a what were you saying it was, Storm Rage?
It's a visual novel game where you take control of a ex-superhero who is now in charge of a team of former criminals that are attempting to reform.
Very fun. I look forward to that. That sounds really, really fun. So
it's fantastic. I will say, Dispatch, very adult. Don't play with kids in the room. There are some very adult surprises that kind of come out of nowhere, and a lot of adult references and adult jokes.
Oh, well, that's easy for me because I definitely don't play my computer in my living room. So
yeah.
Thank you for the heads up.
Wanted to give you that warning just as a heads up, just in case.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to find time to play that game.
Isn't there like a streamer mode that does like kind of like censor things a little bit? I don't know.
Probably. I haven't looked into it though.
Okay, my guess is it just censors and doesn't necessarily make it kid appropriate. It's fine. It won't be. If it's that short of a game, it shouldn't be too hard to like fit that in after bedtimes and that kind of stuff. So, not the end of the world.
Thanks. I am pretty incredible.
They think.
Definitely didn't almost forget. Thank you so much, patrons and Twitch subs. Thank you very much to Grand Arcanum for your Prime sub last week. Your support keeps this podcast ticking. If you want to support the show, head over to twitch.tv/DanoPlay or patreon.com/Squelch. Thank you very, very much.
This one's a real page-turner.
All right, for the second to last time, we are going to go through our Mass Effect Andromeda friends. We have Cora. She's a human. She's our second in command. She's a former member of the Asari Human Special Forces program. We have Liam. He's a human. He has a couch. He's a bit of a doofus, but he means very, very, very well. Also, whenever you read his emails, he like gives like a postscript of like media that you should view along with his email, which I do appreciate, and I think everyone should start doing that. I'm not going to do that, but other people should, because that makes reading email more fun. Then we have PB. She is an Asari biotic who is super into remnant technology. Vetra, a Taurian and former smuggler. She kind of invited herself onto her ship, and then her sister kind of invited herself into the team. We got Drac. He is a Krogan. He is 1,400 years old. And then we have Jaw. He is an Angarian resistance fighter. We have our Tempest crew as well. These people are friends we get a chat with, but they don't come on missions with us. We have Sam. He's our AI that our dad built. We have Suvi. She's our science officer. We have Kalo. He is our pilot. We have Lexi. She's our medical officer. And we have Gil. He's not Tally. Did I miss anything?
No.
No, but I do think you give Gil too much crap because I think he's also an interesting character. Do I think he's as good as Tally? No, I don't. But I think that he does end up being a fairly interesting character. He gets so excited about being a dad. It's so cute.
He does. It's very, very wonderful. I'm not saying you're wrong. He's also not Tally. I'm just saying.
That's correct.
Just
I agree with that.
Saying. And he's Gil's as good of a character as the rest of them, to be honest. It's just,
He's just not Tally.
He's just not Tally.
Has the worst. He has the worst hair.
Yeah. Gil's entire character model could use a little bit of less polishing. It seems overly polished almost. I don't know. It's an interesting character model. I agree, though. Yeah.
His hair's bad.
The character models in this game are kind of great. I was playing the game, and you definitely get a little bit too much eyeball with some of them as well, where I'm like, why do I see the sides of your eyeballs?
Where's the Pathfinder?
You're looking at her.
You're not Alec Ryder.
All right. So we got the recap this week. I'm gonna give you the full rundown of everything we did. So buckle up, friends. It's gonna be fantastic. First up, we have Hunting the Archon. We've been hunting the Archon for quite a while now because he has a thing we want. It's a specific McMuffin. It is a relic. It's a map, actually, I think specifically a map to Meridian. We need to get to Meridian because Meridian is gonna fix all of our problems. It is going to make everything 100% viable. Even if it's already 100% viable, it's going to make it even more 100% viable. So we need to find that map, and the Archon has it. So last time on Dragon Ball Z, we were told to go to Kadara Port to find someone who could tell us where the Archon is. To no one's surprise, we were told the Archon is in another castle. So we follow the transponder to the Cat flagship, and what do we find attached to it? The Solarian Ark. Lucky us, not lucky for the Solarians, but lucky for us because we couldn't figure out where it had gone. So Sam sets up communications with the Ark, and we learn that they turned off all external communications to try and avoid the Cat finding them. Did not work. When we try to access some data on the Ark, so we go on board the Ark, we try to access some data, and we get an encrypted message from the Ark captain telling whoever is there and decrypting that they have been captured by the Solarian, been captured by the Ket, and that the Solarian Pathfinder must be found. She put a message out to all the Solarians that, to go ahead and surrender because they didn't want any more damage done to the Ark or to the cryopods, which, good on her. So we find the Solarian Pathfinder in the med bay, and bad news, they are dead. But good news, the corpse is male, and the Solarian Pathfinder is a woman. It looks like the Solarians pulled the old switcheroo on the Ket. We do a little bit of scanning. Yes, ma'am.
There's a great line if you have Drac in your party. It's like, always the Solarians pulling crap like this. Or something like that. It's always bait and switch, or always cloaks and shadows with the Solarians. It's like, yeah.
I thought of all the people that encountered the Ket, the Solarians handled it the best, basically. Thought they did a
100%.
grand old job of handling it. So we found, so we go looking for that cryo bed of the dead guy. We find it, and there's a woman sleeping inside. We wake her up, and we find the Solarian Pathfinder. Huzzah! She introduces herself as Reika. She has super cool orange face paint. Reika joins the squad to infiltrate the Ket ship. We sneak on, free some more Solarians, and then Reika and her team take off to free more Solarians while we keep on looking for the relic. Although, Reika and her team do show up again later to help us out with a particularly hectic firefight with some Ket. I will say one thing about this mission, a lot of really fun bits of combat. I thought this one was really good. And then I think next week we'll talk about some more that was also really fun. But that
next week was great.
That this week was really, really good. I would say this one and then next week were the two closest bits of combat to what we got in Mass Effect 3, which I think is the best combat in the game. So yeah, I thought this was really, really fun. It was a whole bunch of waves, pretty like a little bit more interesting fights where you kind of felt like you weren't just able to, kind of just blast through them. I really enjoyed it. And this was cool because they kind of pop up like on the high ground and start sniping people off, and then they have to kind of take off after one of them get injured. It was really good storytelling throughout the fight, and I really enjoyed it. So we finished that fight up. We eventually make our way to the Archon's office, and we find some exalted experimentations with humans, Solarians, Asari, and Krogan. I sure hope those exalted Krogan experiments don't go anywhere. I bet they'd be tough. Anywho, we break into the Archon's office, find the Relic McMuffin, and see that the Archon is a bit obsessed with remnant junk. If you have PB with you, she will specifically say, "Wow, this is mostly junk." So we go to leave, and oh no, the exalted Krogan freed himself, and we have to kill it. So we kill it. Very fun. The exalted Krogan have this like red, like ball attack thing that they throw at you, and then like makes like an area where that like destroy your shields and do like damage over time. So you have to like leave it. Exalted Krogan are a lot of fun. They're a really good enemy, I feel like. Sam tells us, after we kill the Exalted Krogan, Sam tells us that he found Drax's team that was lost at the very beginning of the game. I'm sure you all remember that Drax team got lost.
Oh, sure,
I remember
100%.
that as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And says, hey, we can go and free them. But so as soon as we start going off that way, we get a message from Reika. She tells us that she got into a bit of kerfuffle while freeing some Solarians. And she wanted to know if we could come and help her. We only have time to save one of them because we have set this like basically this time bomb situation was going to go where the Solarian Ark was going to like run away, and so we had to get back onto the Solarian Ark in time. Yes, Storm.
Yeah, to be more specific, basically the Ket ship has its guns trained on the Solarian Ark. And the second the Solarian Ark boots up, the Ket ship is just going to destroy it. So what they've done is they've triggered an EMP, which will knock out the guns for a few moments, giving the Solarian Ark time to get out. But that does not give us an infinite amount of time because basically eventually the guns will come back online. So you have a very set amount of time to get back onto the ship before the Ket ship blows everything up. Yeah.
Really fun and interesting story. I liked it quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So we only have time to save one of them. It's the old Batman issue. So if we save Reika, the Solarians get a Pathfinder. If we save Drax's team, Drax is slightly less grumpy for a little bit. What did you each do? Matt?
I side with Drax like I always do. Krogan's got a raw deal, and, they're not expendable, even though they make 1 billion of them. Let's go ahead and, save the Krogans, because honestly, actually, the way the audio was presented to me was like the Solarian Pathfinder knew she was going to die anyway to save these people, so might as well save the people we can. So save the Krogan.
Storm Rage?
I had an interesting thing about this. The first time I played through this game, I went with Drax. The second time I went through and I was like, Reika is a super cool Pathfinder. She's really interesting. She's very capable. She's a well-written character. She's also like one of the first women Solarians that we ever meet, and is really, really cool. And so I was like, well, I guess I got to try out Reika. And so I went through, I saved Reika, and then Drax at the end of the mission was not happy, and Drax then goes, we saved the entire Solarian Ark and you still had to go and save more Solarians when we couldn't have saved a handful of Krogan just this once. I see where your loyalties lie, Ryder. And I was like, ooh, that's not what I want. That's not what I wanted at all. And so I then went back, and then I went to an old autosave, and I saved Drax's team again.
I saved Reika because she's a Solarian Pathfinder. And if we don't save her, the Solarians don't have a Pathfinder. And we're basically like down, like just serious power. Yeah, the Krogan team, like, I'm sorry, but they also knew what they were getting into when they went off and did this, the Krogan stuff. Everyone was soldiers. I had to make a call. I chose the person that was going to be able to do more for me than the other one. Maybe that's selfish. And also, Drac, like, you know why I had to do it, and I get why you're grumpy. And so I'm just going to let you complain. And then, but I made the right call, and I'm sorry that it makes your heart sad, but it is what it is.
I will say a couple of things. Long term, if you end up saving Drac's team, he gets a little side quest near the end of the game that only triggers if you save his team and do a couple of other things that help out the Krogan. And it's a really cute scene where he basically makes Ryder the godfather of a couple of his grandchildren between him and Kesh. It's very cute. It's very good. And also, if you end up making Drac, saving Drac's men, the Solarians will get another Pathfinder, and it'll just be the captain of the Solarian Arc will choose to, or is next in line for the Pathfinder role. So they still have a Pathfinder. They're not as capable, but they're fine.
I mean, everybody's running on their second or third Pathfinder anyway, so why not, right?
So
that's true.
I was under the impression that when a Pathfinder died, they didn't give you a new Pathfinder, and you need all 4 Pathfinders in order to save the captain of the human arc at the end of the game. And if you don't have all 4
Spoilers.
Pathfinders, you don't get to save her. And so that's why I did it. Because otherwise, why wouldn't we have a Solarian Pathfinder when Grumpy McGrumpy Pants later on in this episode, when we talk about that one, decides he doesn't want to be a Pathfinder anymore. So
You mean a Turian Pathfinder?
Yeah, exactly, a Turian Pathfinder. So I still think, as I recall, also, we can talk about Reika at the end of the game as well next week, because there's a cool choice for Reika that I want to know, since you guys didn't save her, if that choice is still there or not. So I'll talk to you guys about that as well. Remind me, because I'm going to forget otherwise.
All right.
But I thought the Pathfinder was awesome, and I didn't figure we could save. I figured, why not save the Solarians and the Pathfinder instead of 4 random dudes? So sorry, Drac.
I mean, it would also been nice if, if you don't save, you get 4 or 5 extra Krogan enemies you have to kill later in the game, right?
That's true.
Oh, are all those Krogan that you have to fight, are those all the ones that you didn't save? So those enemies aren't there?
Nope.
I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't
cool.
gotten
That's
there
correct.
yet.
That's cool. I didn't know that. That's fun. So
Yep.
in the final mission, that you run into a bunch of Krogan Exalted, and that's apparently who those are. That's fun. But that was that awesome fight I was praising, and just saying, it was a pretty fun fight having them there.
All right. I mean, it's like Morinth. It's like the Morinth thing, where it's just they just rename a Banshee a Morinth, right? Like in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It is interesting that for the first 90% of this game, decisions you make don't matter. And then you get to the end and they're like, oh, wait a minute, we've been having you make all these decisions and they have absolutely 0 consequences. And then they're like, okay, but for the last 2% of this game, there are going to be consequences to your decisions. There's not always going to make complete sense. And you're not going to know what those consequences are. But I thought it was really fun. It was a good choice. I like the choice that it was there. I like that Drac doesn't let you get away with it. If you go and talk to him afterwards, he's like, oh, I'm grumpy and angry because you didn't save the people that I got lost. And then you go back and he's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. And then you do a few things, then he gets over it. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like Jaw, really.
Yeah, it is exactly like Jaw, where he's cranky and sad at you because you sacrificed a bunch of his people. And then, he gets over it. Sorry, Jaw. All right. And then we also have H047 lowercase c, also known as H-047 lowercase c. So we get to the planet cleverly named H-047 lowercase c and find it completely shattered by the Scourge. So this planet was supposed to be the golden world for the Turians. Bummer for them. I will say, you know what? New galaxy, not really great for the Turians. I would say things went pretty bad for them from the jump. So We get to their golden world, and surprise, surprise, we find the Taurian Ark in orbit. I thought this was very much a situation of where was the last time you saw your toy? Which is like, if we were looking for the arcs, wouldn't the first thing we do would be to set up like satellites around their golden worlds in case they just end up at their golden worlds? I feel like that should have been step one is, hey, where are the arcs? Let's go check their worlds.
Nobody said Titan was competent.
This is a really good point. Nobody said Titan was competent. I'm sorry. I'm still getting over the influenza. So I'm all coffee. But we found the Ark. Super great. So we enter the Ark and we meet up with X-Spectre Avitus Rix. You remember him from Havara, which rhymes with Carl. He was the Taurian defending the camp from the Rokar. So Rix is the second in command and was supposed to be Pathfinder if something happened to Mako Barrow. Turns out that something did happen to Barrow. That something being the Taurian Ark smashing into the Scourge. Barrow tried to transfer the Pathfinder control to Rix, but died in the process. This made things go a little bit squirrely. One, because Rix and Barrow were super duper in love, and that kind of like that relationship went over to Sam when Barrow was trying to transfer over Pathfinder control to Rix. And because it was only half finished, it completely scrambled Sam's computer brain. And Sam did the last thing it was told to do, which was go to the Taurian world and find Rix. So it did exactly that. It like smashed through the Scourge, like jettisoning pods and like destroying the Ark to get to the Golden World. Writer Sam then stabilizes the other Sam and makes it so Rix can take over as Pathfinder, but he doesn't think he can do a very good job. So we either can talk him into doing it or letting him walk away. If we let him walk away, there is no Taurian Pathfinder. So we can't get another one. Unlike all the others where we can have a Pathfinder, this one, if we're like, hey, dude, you can't be Pathfinder, he's like, okay. And then there's no Pathfinder.
So in universe, there is an explanation for this, which is that the Pathfinder has to transfer from one Pathfinder to another. This can happen either voluntarily, as it does with the Asari Pathfinder, or it can happen kind of at the order or request of a people, it seems, which is kind of the mix between the Asari Pathfinder. It can happen on death, and it can happen voluntarily through the Pathfinder themselves, and it goes through the line of succession. But the Turian Pathfinder was basically the transfer had begun to go from the original Pathfinder to Rex. But if Rex doesn't accept it, then it's in this half limbo state, so it can't transfer over because it's never successfully transferred in the first place, so no one else can pick it up. That being said, it is still a little silly, and it makes very little sense, and I don't know why you wouldn't just be like, okay, this Turian's Pathfinder now.
Yeah, why not? Like, you could even like have, hey, Rix, I know you don't want to be Pathfinder, but can you like just take Pathfinder real quick and then like pass Pathfinder along like a note to the next? Like, I have one right here with me right here. Like, she'd be a great Pathfinder.
Yeah, if you want to just pass it along, we could just play hot potatoes here.
Real quick here. Like, I'm talking 5 minutes. Like, we all just stay right here where we are. You just finish it. I know you'll be sad for a little bit. That's okay. I feel that. Feelings are hard. And then we just give it to Vetra, and then we all just kind of go about our day.
Perfect. I don't see any problems with that plan.
Again, and it's fine if they want to set this up. But, like, there wasn't any real explanation. And, like, so the first time I did this, I was like, I get it, dude. Like, there's a lot of feels there. You don't feel like you're up to it. Like, I'm not going to force you to take this big job that you don't feel you're ready for and that maybe you don't want to even do because you're still trying to get over the fact that, like, you're alone. And I get it. That is hard. So I'm like, go off, dude. Live your life. Good luck. And then I'm like, there's no other Pathfinder. So now what? So I Googled it, like, where's the other Pathfinder? And then the wiki is like, and you don't get to save the lady. And I'm like, oh, what? Seriously? Also, spoilers. But, so I went back to his save just like you did and undid it. And then he's sad for, like, all of 45 seconds, and then it's like super gung-ho via email. He's like, thank you for making me do this. I love being a Pathfinder. And you're like, love you, dude. Yeah, Matt.
I missed this quest somehow. I couldn't find the Torian. The Torian Arc wasn't anywhere near in the system yet. At least that I could find. Like, I scanned everything in the system. I couldn't find it.
You
the fact that I
done...
I haven't done the first part of the Find the Torian Arc quest yet. Is that probably a reason why?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have to get the quest from
today.
Rix, even, I'm pretty sure. Like, he emailed
I got the
quest.
I got the quest from Rix. It's just a matter of now I gotta like go to Kadar. I gotta go to the one Desert World number 2 and find where the people are there, and then go to the next 3 Desert Worlds and then get over here. To make the quest happen, I think.
Probably wouldn't worry about it. It's a pretty weak quest. Like, so there's not even any combat in it or anything. It's just like a walking quest. Oh. Like, you just walk through the arc.
I would still do it because having all 4 Pathfinders is pretty cool. I think it is worth it, not because of the quest itself, but because of what happens after the quest.
All right.
It is cool having the Pathfinders. I agree. Yep.
All right. I'll go back and do that then.
If it's not too much work.
I mean, well, I've been planning
Hello, old friend. Let's meet for tea after the match, shall we?
I scanned all the planets, Matt.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Everyone.
You know, I was tempted. I've been tempted, but like, new systems just keep popping up, and it's just like, why am I going? Why would I ever go here?
Don't do it. There's no reason to do it. There's zero.
Do you get an achievement? Is there an achievement?
No, there's not.
What?
No.
I think there is on PlayStation. I think there is an achievement for.
I'll check the
everybody.
Xbox. I'll check the Xbox.
I am 98% complete with. So I think there are some. So like there are those satellite things you're supposed to scan, and you're supposed to drop satellites, and you're supposed to put them in 3 places, and there are 7 places you can put them. I think I have to go and find where those other 4 places were supposed to be, and then scan for those. I've already scanned for one of them by accident. So that's part of it. And then to get to 100%, but then also side quests and other things count towards 100%. And so I'd have to do like the drive around and kill like the random mooks to like scan their radio stations, like those random side quests. And I'm not getting to 100%. So leave us one at 98% done. Matt, what'd you do? Sorry.
Oh yeah, so I'll run all over the cluster to tracking down quests, especially like the companion quest. Cora and I are now best buds, and we're making out in her garden on Eos. Drac and Vetra and I are best buds. Got most of the friend quests done. Kind of narrowed everything down to just bopping around Aya to do everything at this point. So I kind of love it, and then do the Pathfinder quest for the Taurians. Finally settled Eldine. I would kind of like skip settling Eldine until like my playthrough this morning, and got it to 100% viability. Hooray! So I'm got everything but Eos done to 100%. So I still have to go back to the hinterlands and figure that out. Met Gil's friend Jill, which was a complete nothing burger of a scene. Like
it was fun. It was kind of fun.
It was it was fun. It was fun to like make fun of Gil and then like leave. That was it.
You have to travel to Eos for 2 lines of dialogue, which I thought was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well, like luckily I went there for other reasons for the Cora thing.
Very much of this quest could have been a phone call.
this quest could have been an email, really. Like honestly. My favorite quest I did this week was the Solarian Betrayal quest, which was you get after receiving the Solarian Arc, you get it from your navigator Callow. It's like, hey, we've got a contact kind of who wants to talk to you. So you find out this contact is investigating a Solarian that he thinks a Solarian this one particular doctor betrayed the Solarians to the Ket on the way to the galaxy. And then you travel all over the galaxy trying to figure out, and it's really inconclusive what's going on. You break into this guy's apartment, you scan everything, and then eventually you go to Kadara in a cave, you go to one of the desert worlds. You find the real spy Solarian who's like, no, the guy who gave you the quest is an imposter. You go confront the imposter back at Kadara, and he's like My plan, yes, this is totally my plan. My plan was to get exalted by the cat so I can feed all of you information about the cat and the cat hierarchy. And I'm
what
like,
a plan.
it's like, and one of the dialogue options like, this sounds like the dumbest plan I've ever heard. And I picked that one, obviously. And basically you can have the real Solarian guy arrest the guy and then he disappears. So yeah, that was the quest. You go all over just to find out that the person that originally gave you the quest is the fake version and wants to get exalted so he can spy on the cat somehow.
So the ending of this quest, I found bananas. So you were pretending to be the spy, and then the spy is like, no, I'm the real one. The other one was a fake one. We just take the spy's word that they're the real one.
Right.
And then we go to where the fake one is, and we're like, we were told by the real one that you're the fake one. And the fake one's like, you got me. It's like, no, just say you're the real one. This has been done in movies. Then you point the fingers. We have to make a decision. Which one is the real one? But no, he's like,
which one?
You caught me. Good job. I'm like, why'd you give up so
Oopsies,
soon?
hands up.
Yeah,
like, what?
it's the quest one made no sense too. You had to go all over the entire map to do anything, and it's like, I hate Kadara. I'll talk about it later. And it's just like, come on, all right, that was a waste of my time, but I enjoyed it somehow. I don't know, it was weird.
I think this was a waste of time, but I still enjoyed it somehow. Might be the subtext of this entire game.
I think 100%. That is Mass Effect Andromeda. Waste of time, but still kind of fun.
I did a lot this week as far as quests. I went and did all my various friendship quests. I finished the game this last week because I didn't think I'd have time in between this and next week to actually finish it. So I did a bunch of stuff, but Dano's going to go over, either Matt is going to go over most of the things or Dano's going to go over most of the things that I did. So I will just leave it at that. Dano, what did you do this week?
I did the Veteranix best friend quest, and it was another absolute banger. I honestly think the best friend quests are so good, they make the rest of the game feel bad because they are so good. But yeah, so this is the last best friend quest. Veteranix, she is our Taurian fighter friend. She's great. So she gets a call from some colonists that she helped escape from a crime lord. They had initially rebelled against the Nexus, but regretted it, so Vetra helped them create false identities and move to a colony. Except Vetra says she never did that. We get to the location where they are trapped, and we fall into a trap as well. We meet the colonists, and they thank her, and she assures them and us that she has no idea who they are and has certainly never freed them from anything. They're confused, she's confused, and we're confused. It's an absolute wonderful start to the quest. While we're trapped in this building, we get a call from someone on the outside, and they tell us that they can help us escape this trap. So off we go with the colonists in tow. After moving through some corridors, our mystery friend tells us to duck into a closet because some bad guys are on the way, While waiting for them to leave, Vetra figures out that her sister Sid is our mystery friend, and she has actually been impersonating Vetra this whole time and been Robin Hooding around the sector. Vetra tries to get Sid to leave, but we convince Vetra to let her sister stay and help until that bites us in the butt and Sid gets captured. We kill the bad guy and rescue Sid. Sid now sees that what Vetra does is actually really dark and bloody and pretty awful, but still wants to help. Vetra is not sure about that, but eventually, through later parts of the game, comes around to that. And then now we're best friends with Vetra. Anything to add, Stormage? Or Matt?
Nope.
There's a great little scene back on Kadara where you go climb a rock with Vetra.
We do climb a rock later with Vetra. Yep.
Yeah.
Literally, rock climbing, and you can choose to use your jump jets. It's no jump jets, and then you get a quick trigger to use your jump jets. Anyways, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's a lot like the Garrus quest line, kind of where you're playing.
The sniper Garrus scene. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really good. Yeah, so that was a really fun one. So what was cool about this quest? So each of the, like the best friend quests have their own little like thing that you get to do in it. And then this one, the cool thing was you get to use like Sid will like spy through spy camera, like through cameras to see what's going on in the next room. And you can either like set like animals loose to attack them or open a locked door to get some secret treasure, or it's a really cool little like just a quick little thing before each fight where you get to like spy on them and then make a choice about how to handle the fight. Really cool, really fun.
The room ahead, yeah, it's good. It's a good little mechanic.
Yeah. And then the last thing I did everything as well. Actually, I did every single quest that has a quest marker in this game. The last
I didn't
one
do
here
that
I
because
did.
I value my sanity.
I honestly sat down to try to 100% the game and finish up those other quests as well. I sat down, looked at the first one that had me heading back to Kadara to like kill scavengers and scan their like telephones, and then I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. This one's saying incomplete. I can't do this to myself. The first time, this is so miserable. I'm not doing it. So the next quest, this quest was on the funny letter number world. So this is called From the Dust and the Remnant Tiller. So while on that world, we can't leave the Mako 2 because of the radiation from the sun and their complete total lack of atmosphere. So the radiation is so bad in this planet that we actually cannot leave the Mako 2. The only time we leave the Mako 2 is to go into these like mining, like they have these like mining camps set up by someone before us, but the scavengers are taking over these mining camps, and we can like drive into them with the Mako 2, and then it's like it has like a false like atmosphere. It's like a fancy dome on Mars that you would see in any sort of sci-fi movie. So we go into these domes and we can kill a bunch of scavengers. And while doing so, we find that they are mining helium-3, which is a special kind of helium that is like super explosive. And they want to make a bomb with it. And we're like, no, that's a bad idea. We want to make some fuel with it. It makes very, very good fuel. So we kill all the scavengers so we can take the helium-3 from them and make fuel, and they can't make a bomb. Don't think too much about that one. It'll make your head hurt. For reasons you think about it, you'll understand. So we do that, and while doing that, we kind of get into a super secret dome, and we find out that there is this remnant called a remnant tiller that can mine this helium-3 even better than just like regular mining. So we go into like another remnant area, kill a bunch of remtech, and then turn the remnant tiller on. And now we have a cool remnant doing some mining for us. Yes, Matt.
All right, so there's two things. One, I like the fact that like the terrorists were like, let's mine all this helium-3 so we can blow up, the everything. And then you're like, oh, let's go after the terrorists. And I'm like, nah, let's go after the helium-3. The terrorists don't matter. I'm like, excuse me? Like, can we get responsible with the people actually doing this or planning this? I know we could stop it, but also there was, when I was looking through this section, there's a way you can do the remnant area using all like the remote bots, but like I couldn't figure out how to do that. Like it was way too complex and doesn't give you anything else. Doesn't give you anything special. But you can use like all the remote like observers that you can generate to like do the quest.
I did a bunch of stuff with the observers.
Yeah, but there's a way you could do it without combat and do all observers. It's apparently very strange. Very hard, very difficult.
Yeah, those observers. So in this one, this is the first place we were in. So the observers are a type of remtech that normally attack us, but we can like generate observers from blue laser beam things.
Yeah.
And there are certain blue laser beam things that can only be accessed by observers. So we have to turn on the blue laser beam nodes that create blue laser beam observers, and then find the blue laser beam nodes that we can't interact with and have the observers interact with them as well. And so it adds like a second level to the blue laser beam puzzles. It's fine, but it does kind of get confusing because they only go like so far. Like they only like have like a certain range. And you don't know where that range is until all of a sudden it's not there. And so you either have to like find another observer, and it kind of adds layers to the laser beam puzzles essentially, but
it's not, it's
fine.
You could still just do it by shooting things. It's great.
Yeah, and this quest ends. It's like, oh, Tan will be super happy. And I'm like, oh, if I had known, I wouldn't have done this. But
Taste my grilled cheese.
Much, much, much.
what is our first good, Matt?
Like we were talking about earlier, but the post friendship scenes are like really cute and great and fun and enjoyable. Like, like you could do their mission and then they have like, I have one more thing for you to do, and it's just really just a cutscene, like where you can screenshot a friendship. It's great, and they're all very very well done and all very little cute and great. What's the not so good?
I got the not so good. The not so good is the Danny Messier quest line. So we go to Eos and meet this freshly thawed colonist who is super excited to be there. And he's like, oh, Pathfinder, tell me what to do. And we can tell him to go study bugs. We can go study the Remnant. Or I guess there's an option to have him study the Ket, but I didn't have that one. So it was just go see the robots or go see some bugs. So I'm like, well, the robots are scary, so go check out the bugs. And so he's like, I'm going to go check out some bugs. And he goes off, and then if you kind of go out into Eos, you'll find him out there, and he's being attacked by the bugs. You have to save him from the bugs. He's like, oh, the bugs here are terrifying. I'm gonna go check out the robots. And you're like, and then he like takes off, and then you have to go find him. You find him down the road studying some robots before they're being attacked by some robots. You have to save him from the robots. He's like, everything here is also awful. You suck, Pathfinder. I'm gonna go somewhere safe, like Kadara Port. And I'm like, oh, are we gonna have to go around the entire galaxy saving this guy from being a doofus? This is gonna be amazing. I'm like, finally, a good, like, another castle quest. And so I get in my spaceship, I go to Kadara Port, and he's not there. And so I Google it, and it just ended on Eos. And I was like, this was actually a good one. This would have been a good one. Like, I would have followed this guy around the entire sector. This would have been amazing. Like, having to save this
Just
guy
being
from
like, hey, stop being done. Hey, stop being dumb.
It would have been so much fun.
I mean, it's like the Conrad Werner quest, right? Like, it's just
yeah,
helping this doofus along, right?
yeah, it would have been so great. Like, which it's so fun they didn't follow through on it, because like 50% of this game is like just going from location A, B, C, D, and E for no reason.
Yeah, honestly, this character should have been the Conrad Werner's sister we meet in Kadara.
Oh, it
Oh,
should have
would've
been
been
Conrad
fantastic.
Werner's sister. Oh, now it's the worst so good. This is
Right? It's like, because we meet Conrad Werner's sister, but this is like a Conrad Werner quest. It could have been like do everywhere, and like they don't do it. They don't take the open net, and they just like completely
truly though.
Yeah.
It was there for the taking. How
Right?
good would that? How much fun would it have been chasing Conrad Werner's sister around the sector, saving herself
Oh, it would have been
from herself?
fantastic.
Oh my gosh, that alone would have
As
made
she
this...
slowly becomes a bigger and bigger fanboy of Ryder, and so you've got the two Werners that are just massive fans of the protagonist.
Yes.
She could start dressing like a Pathfinder.
Yes, yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
so mad.
And then then she could have been like, "Hey, Ryder, I found something for you."
Suvi and I are, I'm dating Suvi actually, and if you date Suvi, you get these little like flirtation lines on the bridge, and Callow is always there, and Callow and Suvi are like best friends, and so Callow will like, after you do like the little flirt stuff, Callow will be like, "Oh, do I have to be here?" And so for like one of the last ones, Callow goes, "Oh, I'm so tired," or something like that. And then you can say something back at him, or Suvi does. I'm not sure which one it is. And he goes, "Oh, go pathfind something." What's our best good this week?
Well, it took me a couple tries because I thought we were playing one more quest line, so that was originally my best good, and then it was going to be a different one, and then it turns out that was our first good. So my third best good is that the physics on the planet that has a terrible name are so fun.
So
like
amazing.
getting to drive the Mako, and then you just jump off a cliff, and then you just float. And there's an achievement you can get for being in the air on the Mako for 30 seconds, which is difficult to do because you have to have like certain improvements to your Mako, and who knows how to get those. But like just flying around and then just floating in space on this giant car is so wildly fun.
It made the Mako 2 all worth it, to be honest. Was like,
Yeah.
this planet is so much fun on the Mako 2. It's outstanding. It's just outstanding.
I mean, there's like, if you have, I had Liam in there with me because I needed to use Liam for some reason, and like he just freaks out every time you go over like the ravine. It's amazing.
Did you try the jumping quest at all?
I tried.
I mean the achievement.
I tried a few times, but I couldn't get it to go.
It's so whenever you do the achievement, like, or at least when I was trying to do it, as you get closer and closer to the ravine, one of your like companions will like yell out like in fear because you're driving off a cliff. It's fantastic.
He asks each traveler 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number.
Matt, what are you liking so far?
So we didn't talk about it, but after we saved the Solarian arc, there's a cut scene with the Ket Archon, and he's like, and like his crony is like, the people like the whatever the next level above him are like, they've been asking for a status update. They want to know what you've been doing and what's taking so long. And the fact that like the big bad of this game is a regional manager, really, it kind of is a fantastic reveal. And it's like, it makes the Ket that much more menacing. Like, it's like, okay, there's a hierarchy. There's this guy's just like a middle manager somewhere, like just taking over this area of space, and he's not doing a great job of it. So his bosses are mad, and now like, I'm sure we'll explore that, right?
In the next game, we will. In the next
game.
Yeah, in the next game.
Yeah.
Definitely the next
Storm
game.
Rage.
That is the plan.
Yeah, there's definitely
Storm Rage.
not like a big menacing moment at the end of this game.
No.
Yeah.
That definitely doesn't
I haven't got there yet. I haven't gotten there yet, so.
I really like and we talked about it kind of early on, but the amount of diversity within the cast, specifically within the cast of powerful players in the game, is really cool. Like, I was playing and Stevie was watching me from the couch, and Reika came up, and Stevie went, is that a female Pathfinder that's not an Asari? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's awesome. She's cool. And it was a moment of like, oh yeah, representation significantly matters to people's enjoyment. And I think that there's a lot of good representation of really capable people across the gender spectrum, across the sexuality spectrum, across the intelligence spectrum. And then you've got Tan, who's just a dingus. And so like the variety in characters, I think, is just really strong, and BioWare consistently does a good job of this. And I think that's another point that they do here. Dano, what do you like it so far?
Driving around in the Mako 2 in low gravity is just a ton of fun. Like, the very first thing I did was I got on the Mako 2 on this planet. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I found that giant ravine, and I spent like the next 15 tries. It took like 15 tries to just get myself across that ravine. It's all I wanted. I didn't care about the quest. I didn't care about that bridge that was very clear there to get me over that ravine. I wanted to get across using my jump jets, and I did, and I felt like a superhero. It was so much fun.
I did the exact same thing. I looked at the bridge, and I said, not a bridge. Not a bridge. Does not matter. It is ravine time, baby.
It was so much fun. Matt, what are you struggling with?
Sorry, to further my complaints on Kadara in general from a couple episodes ago, why can't we land at the settlement Kadara directly?
It's a great
Why
question.
Because I would love that. Like, I think it would fix about 80% of the issues I have with that planet in general, where like loading the port and then turning around and then loading up the slums and then sprinting through the slums and then jumping over the fence and then finally getting to the map so you can fast travel. Why?
Which is so funny because in every other planet, when
Once
you
you
set up the base, that's
thing,
where you start. That's where you land after the base,
Yes.
but not Kadara. You
No.
set up your base,
And if you want to do anything, but also, like, once again, if you want to do anything in Gadara, you have to sit and hit Y for 20 minutes
I know
to open a door.
which we have to go for half of the movie quests. It's like, okay, go back to Kadara to buy some popcorn.
Right? It's like, I hate it. Storm Rage, what are you struggling with?
Just let me do a quest in one planet. Just once. Just like one interesting quest that's like, hey, go to Kadara and do a thing. And you're like, okay, and then you go to Kadara and then you get to do the thing. Stop making me go from Kadara to Aya to Eos to Eladin to Vold to the Nexus. Stop it! Just let me do quests at one location. Let me bounce once. You get one bounce. I can go from Kadara to Eos. That's fine. And then that's it. We have to be done at that point. Unless it's a main quest or a friendship quest, those are the only two things that I will allow from multiple different locations.
Storm Rage. Now, let me just play devil's advocate here. What if instead you start at Kadara, you go to Vold, then go to Havarl, then go to Eos, then go to Nexus, then hit up a random satellite in an unknown system, and then go back to Kadara to finish the quest? How does that sound?
Pass. Dano, what are you struggling with?
Interesting. The Torian arc story was just weak. Like, the story itself wasn't weak. The story itself was interesting. I thought the story, like, I thought this, like, the story of the second in command, just kind of not wanting that. He already had that. He was a, not an N7. What are the Spectre? Who's a Spectre, and he got like super disenfranchised with that because of what happened with the Spectre Corps. And like, he's like, I'm not that person anymore. This dude is that person, and this is the person I love is that person. I'm not that person. I am a rifle. I'm not a leader. I can't be the Pathfinder. That part was interesting, but like, all you did was walk around slowly. You couldn't even use your jets. There was no gun or anything. You just walked around the ship. You scanned a few things, and then you had a conversation with a Sam and another Sam. And that was a bit of a bummer. Like, there are scavengers on the planet that arc is kind of rotating around. Have scavengers on the arcs trying to strip it for parts. Like, why not? Why not? I mean, it just seems easy. It's like, it's the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But instead, we just walked through in 15 minutes. I was like, oh, all right. And it was like, oh, we're out of ideas and we're out of time. So yeah, it's a walking quest. And like, oh, all right, I guess it's fine. The story is fine. It's just like the actual playing it was kind of like disappointing. Matt, what surprised you about the game?
How much breaking and entering I had to do of apartments in the Nexus I had to do this.
I know.
Like between the Solarian quest and Drax quest, it's like I just like went down that one hallway like 2-3 times, broke into somebody's apartment, looked around, and then left. With like 0 to 0, like with little to no consequence.
Well,
like,
you do get caught at one point, and they go, "What are you doing here?" And then you're like, "Well, I'm investigating you." Okay.
Yeah, it's investigating. Okay, that's fine. I was like, yeah. Yeah. What surprised you, Storm Rage?
There is a romance scene with PB that is adult, and so I'm not going to go into the specific details, but it is really like earnest in a way that I wasn't expecting. Like, it's cute, and PB is like, hey, I want to do this thing with you. I've never done it because I've never felt comfortable or safe with anyone, and I feel more comfortable and safe with you than anyone ever before. And it's so good, and I love it a lot. I think that they do a lot of the characters so well in this game, and it's just a really great scene. Dano, what surprised you about the game?
I think the Vetra and Sid storyline is really, really good. And it does a very good job, a really interesting job of telling a story about a younger sister kind of trying to follow her big sister's footsteps while also not fully understanding the full ramifications of that. And it's really interesting. And then you get to kind of see it from Vetra's point of view and how frustrated she is. And she said, doesn't she see I'm trying to protect her from this thing that I've had to become? And then Sid's like, can't she see how incredibly proud I am of this person she is and the good she does? And it's awesome. It's just really, really well done and well thought out and well written. It was a fantastic quest. Again, the best friend quests in this game are amazing. They are so, so good. And this one just...
Right.
And Vetra is not... Like, up until this point, she was kind of a boring character. There wasn't a lot there. And then after this one, you're like, this character's kind of awesome. Just like the rest of them. She's just a little bit more, like... She keeps her cards closer to her vest. And it was great. I really enjoyed that quest. And I think Vetra and Sid are fantastic characters. This game,
they are.
Really, the characters in this game, really impressive. Really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Storm Raid, sell the game to a friend.
It's a game where you should just not play the game as much as you want to, which feels bad, but is, I think, true.
Matt, sell the game to a friend.
The big bad is middle management and just wants to do side quest all day. And honestly, I can just relate.
Storm Raid, sell the game to a friend. I co-sign what you said. It's perfect. I had something else written down, but what you said is perfect and spot on. It's a game.
Nailed it.
It's a game that requires a anime filler like .txt, right? Where you go, it's like, okay, which episode of Dragon Ball Z can I skip? Like, it's a game that needs that for its quests. Okay, which of these quests can I skip? Like, I think if someone writes that down, this is a game well worth playing. Spot on, Storm Rage. I could not agree with you more on that.
Yep.
Next week, our team might actually not talk down to us anymore. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to all our patrons for patronizing us. Thank you again to the Grand Arcana for supporting us over at twitch.tv/StanOpPlay. You can find links to the Discord and contact information in our link tree in the description of this episode.
And Mass Effect Andromeda is a game, and games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah! Let's path find until we're path found, baby.
This is the end of this show! Everybody bye!
So, I had a little moment of dialogue on the ship that I absolutely fell in love with. It was just like one of those, like, just ambient dialogue as like your crew's hanging out with each other in general. You know, it's Vetra. She's like, I'd feel a lot better if the ship had a main gun.
I missed that.
Yep.
And it's just like, they know what they were doing, but it's like, it's such a great line, and I love those little scenes where they're just like hanging out with each other, chatting, and you're just like walking through. It's great. I honestly love that part of the game. So.
There's just so much good in this game that if they just cut out the bad, it'd be incredible. Right? They don't need to make anything better. They just need to eliminate the bad.
There needed to be somebody in charge who asked why a lot more than was being asked.
Yeah.
Why are there 150 planetary systems? Why is this quest 5 steps long? There was it was by the end I was very bored. But again, if you just play the main story and the friendship quests, you have a very good game here. Yep. Like if they had made this like Mass Effect 3 or Mass Effect 2 where there was no open world, much better game. So much this game just felt passive. I'll talk about this more next week, but it feels very passive in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So
it's a game that I think should not have been an open world game.
Didn't need to be.
If
Agreed.
they take it out of that and they do the exact same thing they've done for all the other Mass Effect games, it's just a better game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have a snowstorm to go and watch. I imagine you have family stuff to do, Storm Rage.
Mm-hmm.
And Dayquil to take. Yes.
Dayquil.
I'm also recovering from sickness.
Nice.
Lucky.
Yay!
All right, well, thank you, everyone, so very much, and we'll talk at you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.